Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Dungeon Bowl. It's not the Dungeon Bowl, it's the Chaos Cup. We're in week number 3. We're going to close out the week tonight with a doubleheader. We're going to get started this evening with the Goodest boys, Stike back versus the Dinnerbell darlings, Old Gamer Mike versus Doug the Minotaur, Necro versus Dwarves. No pregame tonight because we're getting started a little late here. I don't know whose fault that could be. Might be mine, might not be mine. It could be Doug the Minotaur's fault. So we'll get started here in just a few moments here. We'll talk about the teams as they set up here for the first drive. Oh boy, I just got home. I just got home. Didn't think I was going to stream this game tonight. Worked out that I will, so here we are. We'll get this game going here tonight. Dinnerbell Darling. Whoa, did the Dinnerbell Darlings drop some TV? It looks like the Dinnerbell Darlings dropped some TV. They were going to be at 1,050,000 gold, which would have given 10K back to the Necro team, but looks like they dropped a player. So the Dinnerbell Darlings are going to pick up some petty cash here in the inducement phase. Clear skies for the game. Well, this pitch is amazing. This pitch is amazing. I love this. Clear skies for this first game in our doubleheader. We got another game coming up after this. It'll be Necro versus Wood Elves. But first up, Necro versus Dwarves. SP Beaver says, "Which pitch is this? This has to be the Dwarven pitch." Lots of fan factor here this evening. 200K going to the Dinnerbell Darlings. Maybe a little less due to they had to pick up at least 2 journeymen. Now they're picking up 3. What happened? So I think they just dropped a player and then picked up... I was like, why are they red? They're not red. There we go. I think they just dropped a player, picked up the 3rd journeyman. Maybe... I don't know who they dropped. Necro versus Dwarves here this season. Boy, I mean, when I say I just got home, I just got home. I just got home, I ate a cupcake, and here we are. 3 on the line here for this Dwarf. Look at this box formation on defense to start with. Necro versus Dwarves. Like, Dwarves are very, very bashy. They want to stay grouped up. They're already grouped up. Block on everyone on this roster. A few players with tackle, and not a few, a lot of players with tackle. The linemen all have tackle as well. That'll be a huge boon for this Ghoul Runner and the just for the Ghoul Runner. He only has the one. Just the one Ghoul Runner has the dodge skill. Tackle negates dodge. That's going to have to be something that Old Gamer Mike's going to have to watch out for in this matchup. Old Gamer Mike with this low TV Necro team also means only has 2 effective ball carriers. That's going to be Sam Corrigan, the #1 werewolf back to receive, and of course Pug Johnson over in the left wide zone. Those are going to be targets for this Dwarven team. Old Gamer Mike's really going to have to keep them safe. The other thing that Old Gamer Mike's probably going to have to do, Dwarves very resilient, right? They have AV 10+ and thick skulls. That's where the werewolf can come in. That claw on the werewolf will treat all the AV on this opposing team, instead of a 10+, will treat it as an 8+. This will be a way to try to get removals. But the werewolf has frenzy, which means probably getting 4 dice on the block, but also means has to follow up on each of those blocks as well. And so if the werewolf gets put in a position where maybe it gets too far deep into the defensive formation here, the defense is just going to murder that werewolf. So it's going to be real tricky for this Necro team against this Dwarven team. The Dwarven team is just going to play Dwarf Ball. They're going to stay grouped up. They're going to punch the Necro team until they get that player advantage, and that's their MO on defense. I think this Necro team wants to spread wide to keep these Dwarves from being able to group up. You can see here on the quick snap that Old Gamer Mike's pulling players in to try to get the knockdowns, but ultimately I think if this good reception here by Pug Johnson on the quick snap, I think if this Necro team spreads wide, that's going to reduce the efficacy of this Dwarven team. They won't be able to group up, get those 2-die blocks. Sweet Bunny, welcome to the stream. SP Beaver, welcome to the stream as well. Sweet Bunny says he dropped the +1 to Kaz injury. Ah, thank you very much. If the Goodest boys Stike back here are sort of goaded or forced into a position where they start to tighten up this offense, this Dwarven team is just going to be that much more effective, and they'll start trying to remove players. The Dwarf team on offense, of course, are just going to cage up, open up a hole, move that ball down pitch. Of course, they have the one runner on the roster. That's Kevin Bacon here. He's in the secondary. 2-die block on the line here. Gets a pow on Norin, the number 2 lineman. This is the journeyman lineman. Whenever you can't field 11 players on the pitch in the game of Blood Bowl, before the game starts, that is, you have to pick up journeymen. You have to hire journeymen to fill in the roster. They are your default linemen, but they come with the loner trait, the loner nega trait. So that hurts more certain teams more than others. It also counts against your TV. So if you're a lineman, say on a Wood Elf team, your linemen are 70k. Every journeyman you pick up is 70k that counts against your team value, and that's money that you're giving away to your opponent in the inducement phase. Old Gamer Mike, relative newcomer to the league, Doug the Minotaur, a veteran not only of the league but of the game of Blood Bowl. Very, very good coach. One of the best coaches in league history, in fact. 5 seconds left on the clock here. Doug the Minotaur, former league champion. Blitz with the werewolf over on the left side of the line here. Gets a pow on the number 4 journeyman. 8+ breaks armor. Remember, that's what Claw does for you. And he's able to pull that werewolf back to safety. Well done by Old Gamer Mike. 2 rerolls for the half, 3 for the Dwarven team. Moving the ball over to the right wide zone. Here's where the offense is currently. So a thin screen protecting the ball carrier, and now 2-die block on the left side of the line. Gets a push against number 13 Femur. Man, I had a great day today. I got my favorite hot dogs ever. Well, hot dog. It was a single foot-long hot dog. That's effectively 2 hot dogs. For lunch, played a great game that I lost very badly in. Bought some great games. Where's El Nubarino, by the way? I bought a game that El Nubarino is going to very much appreciate. I'll see if he shows up later. Went to a local game store. It's a well-known game store in the area. They have a new location. It's much bigger than it used to be, and it's my first time being there. It was awesome. It's a game store. It's a tabletop game store with actual, like, full-size grocery carts. It's crazy. "30 seconds left on the clock here in turn number 1. The Dinnerbell Darlings repositioning their players. The dwarves are very, very good at all TV levels. Their big weakness, of course, is how slow they are. You can see MA4 across almost everyone. Kevin Bacon, the fastest player on this roster, with an MA of 6. The Troll Slayer has an MA of 5. Everybody else has an MA of 4. There's a Blitzer with an MA of 5 as well. Everybody else is MA 4. 2-die blitz by the big Ragu. Gets a knockdown here, looking for a 9+. Very, very, very bashy team, but very slow. You knock down a dwarf, that gives them 1 effective movement point to reposition. So all you really need to do against the dwarf offense is stay in front of it. Against the dwarf defense, you probably want to spread it wide. You can see that's exactly what Old Gamer Mike is doing here with this offense. Turn 2 now. They're spread wide. They're spread a little thin, but they do have these flesh golems here. Necro teams, pretty good team all around, in my opinion. You have the flesh golems that have the stand firm skill. That means they can't be pushed back if Old Gamer Mike doesn't want to be pushed back. Has these wraiths here that are a lot better than I would thought they'd be before I saw them put to work here. They're new for the BB 2020 rules. These wraiths, they don't have any hands, so they can't carry the ball, but they have block, they have sidestep, and they have foul appearance. They are a great nuisance piece. That's all as a rookie. SB Beaver says, who would be crazy enough to buy enough games to fill a cart? That would be me. I almost bought another game, but I decided not to when I left. "52 seconds to go here for the Goodest boys." Ball's going to cross the line of scrimmage here to the 2. And now a 2-die blitz by the Werewolf. Gets a push out of this, but remember, has to follow up. Double pals here. Gets the knockdown, but no armor break. And now it's a dodge to safety by the Werewolf. Will he actually attempt the dodge? Not going to dodge with the Werewolf. Going to try to mark out these dwarves. There's the mark against General Custer. General Custer and Sunday Kid both marking the Werewolf, but they are marked by opposing pieces as well. Turn 2 now for the Darlings. Double pals over in the right wide zone against Tibia. 9+ breaks armor, no armor break. Remember, watch out for the Ghoul, watch out for the Werewolf. These are the only 2 effective ball carriers on this Necro team. If they go down, Old Gamer Mike's gonna be hurting. We're in Division C for this first game of the doubleheader this evening. In the Dinnerbell Darlings are currently in second place. Clypheus, Odin, it's Snuffle, and Norse team. They're currently in first place with the best record in the league so far, 3-0-0. Doug the Minotaur looking to change that here in week number 3 and try to tie, perhaps even dethrone Odin and Snuffle, but it's going to be tough with 6 TDs, 4 and none against. Codkills Entanglements, an Imperial Nobility team, tied with the Dinnerbell Darlings here for second place. And Old Gamer Mike looking for their first win this competition here in week number 3. 2-die block against that Wraith there. You could hear the foul appearance sound effect. Every time you take a block or a blitz against that Wraith, you roll a d6. I don't know why the sound effect is like a fart sound effect. That's not foul appearance. That would be like foul odor or something. But foul appearance, if a block or a blitz taken against this Wraith, you roll a d6. If it's a 1, you lose the ability, you lose your block, you lose your blitz. That could be huge when you lose a blitz because you only get 1 blitz per turn. Here's the blitz now against the Werewolf. Got the knockdown out of this. No armor break. Does he have somebody in position to foul? I don't think so. Oh, Kevin Bacon can do it. Ugh. I don't know if you want to foul with Kevin Bacon. So the Dwarves currently split up. That's exactly what Old Gamer Mike wants out of this Dwarven defense. Two flesh columns are strength of 4, and they have stand firm again. If you get pushed back on a block with stand firm, you can choose to use the stand firm skill and not be pushed back. Push against the number 6 Wraith. I think I said number 6 Wraith. Number 6 Wraith. Turn 3 now, back to the Necro team. Currently have the ball on the opposing 2-yard line. They're spread pretty wide here. Trying to control the left side of the pitch. They tried to go in and control the right side on turn 1, but Doug the Minotaur was having none of that. So now the Goodest boys are stronger on the left. We'll see if they capitalize on that or not. If they do, they're committed to a sideline, and then all these dwarves are going to slowly trundle to the left. I block against the number 2 lineman. This is Norin the Journeyman. Gets a push out of this. Knockdown on the Sunday Kid. Got the first armor break of the game. Gets a stun out of that. Are those like pumpkin hip pads? 2-9 block on Gravy. Crack at the Troll Slayer. The Troll Slayer has Frenzy and block. Also, of course, has Dauntless. Dauntless will allow the Troll Slayer, after a die roll, to equal the strength of an opposing piece that could be put to good use against something like a Flesh Golem. In which case, it will just need the 1 assist to get the 2-die block on a stronger piece. Knockdown on the number 4 Journeyman. 8+ is all this werewolf needs. There it is. Gets a stun. Well, Gamer Mike doing a great job with this werewolf so far. Had to follow up. When you have Frenzy, you must follow up, which can put the werewolf in a precarious situation. Now the ball moving all the way to the left to the opposing 14-yard line in the left wide zone, just off the left sideline. 1 die on Gravy Crockett, the Troll Slayer. Gets a push out of this. Turn 3 now for the Darlings. Might see a 1-die blitz. Could be a 2-die blitz with a rush. There's a mark on Pug Johnson, the ball carrier. So looking for the 2-die blitz. Here it is. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockdown thanks to block skill. Will Pug Johnson stay on the pitch? He will. He will. And the ball's just going to float in the air. There's some magic afoot. Good blitz here by Doug the Minotaur. Got the knockdown. Ball moves 1 space to the right. Oh, those are cool dice. Played some Slaughter Ball this weekend as well. Slaughter Ball is basically Blood Bowl handball, and it's great. And I've said it before on stream, but I have a conspiracy theory that Slaughter Ball is actually what brought Blood Bowl back. Roll a skull against the werewolf. Spends a team reroll here to get a push out of this. Dinnerbell Darlings down to 2 rerolls. A push over in the right wide zone, back in no man's land. Pushes Tibia, the number 12 lineman, back across the line of scrimmage. Gets a pal against Flanders here. Looking for a standard 9+. Got it. And there's the injury. Well done. 1-man player advantage for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Regen kicks in, and Flanders will be back on the pitch in the next drive. Regen means if you eat a casualty, you roll a d6 on a 4+. No, you don't. You're totally fine. You go back to the reserve box. It's one of the things that makes these zombie linemen so good, right? They have a decent stat line for 40,000 gold. You have a decent stat line with Cliveus with the sub. Thank you so much. Cliveus says, any dwarves injured yet? Nope, not yet. Not yet. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you for your generosity. Minute to go here in turn 4 for the Goodest boys. 3 marks on this ball. It's going to be a real tough pickup. I think he's in for a scrum here, and that's definitely going to be an advantage for the Dwarven team. Yeah, 40,000 for a decent stat line. They're not that fast, but they also have regen, and you can pick them up for free, right? You're any team with regen, they don't have an apothecary, they get a necromancer instead. He says necro on offense, that's correct. And when they kill certain players, basically, I'm just going to say normal players. When they kill a normal player, as in actually kill them, they die, they will regenerate as a zombie for the Necro team. Armor break on the 8+. Got a stun here with Sam Corgerton. Repositions the werewolf right behind the ball. Back on the bonus clock here for the Goodest boys. 6 minutes, 45 seconds left on the bonus clock. Good dodge by Pug Johnson to get back to safety. These are the two ball carriers for this Necro team. Just those two players. Bevy says, "My zombie anywhere." What was your zombie's name again? Doesn't look like it. Your zombie might be over here. I'm not sure who your guy was. Final turn of the first quarter here. Dinnerbell Darlings on defense. They've been split up a little bit here. That's not where they want to be. But we're able to get a blitz on the ball carrier if the ball carrier went forward just a little too far. And now they have 3 players marking the ball, set up for a scrum, and this magic levitating ball over in the left wide zone on the 14-yard line. Flanders. Yeah, Flanders was just injured and then regen. Feel like blocking the right wide zone, gets a push here. Glad to see he's still getting featured. Two-die block against Nice Biscuits, gets a foul here. Kevin Bacon on the block, breaks armor, gets a stun. Pretty good stun here for the Darlings. It's one less player they have to worry about on the scrum. Two-die block at center pitch. Gets a dodge push out of this. Oh no, he gets a knockdown out of this. He gets maybe more than a knockdown. He gets a removal out of this. Well done by the Dinnerbell Darlings. I think that's a 2-man player advantage now. One die blitz on Pug Johnson. Going to use the reroll here, trying to get the knockdown. Again, very important piece here. It's not going to get it. It's going to be a dodge push out of this. And General Custer will reposition to get off that sideline. Second quarter begins. The Goodest boys on offense lost the ball on the 14-yard line, and now they're scrumming to try to get it back. First knockdown of the turn. Gets nothing out of it. Second block is going to be a push against Merrick, the number 7 lineman. Two-die block against Urkan, the number 4 journeyman. Gets knocked down. Old Gamer Mike deciding whether to follow up with the Wraith or not. Decides to stay put. It's not a bad decision at all. Yeah, Clive says, by the end of the season, it's my hope that every undead team will have a member of my team joining them. See, that's how you win. You infiltrate the other teams. Did I block in the right wide zone? Gets a pow out of this. No armor break. Real tough to remove these dwarfs from the pitch unless you're fouling. So the MO has to be to spread them out. Clive says, fouling, you say? Time to load up with more beer boars. Yes, sir. Do you think the teams that get to play on grass in the week are, like, thankful for that? As opposed to granite? Goodest boys back on the bonus clock here. 6 minutes, 30 seconds on the bonus clock. Plenty of time. Difficult situation here to try to recover this ball. There's 3 marks on the ball and just ends the turn. I probably would have done the same here. Turn 5 now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Dinnerbell Darlings just have to stop the score. The Necro team has to find a way to recover this ball and score. But if the Necro team, if the Goodest boys feel it's just not worth the risk, and they're going to lose a bunch of players in the attempt to score, they could certainly just try to play for the draw by just keeping players alive, and then on defense they just need to stay in front of the Dwarven cage. That's all they need to do. Try to draw this out to 0-0, but it's a little early for that. Plenty of turns left in this game to try to win. I've been playing Monster Hunter Wilds a little bit. It's fine. It's okay. Gets a knockdown here against Femur. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. I love Monster Hunter. They've made it like significantly easier, which I don't necessarily mind it being easy, but they've like taken out the stuff that I enjoyed. So I don't. It's okay. It has a ton of cutscenes now too. They tried to make it like a real story. I don't need a story in Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter doesn't need cutscenes. Monster Hunter needs monsters that you hunt. That's it. That's all you need. General Sub, 5 Blitzer is going to rush toward this scrum. Turn 6 now for the Goodest boys. 2 more dwarves come to join the party. They attempt to do here. It might just be a blitz and then a hopeful pickup to a handoff. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Maybe a blitz on number 6. I'm not sure. We'll see what Gamer Mike decides here. It's very risky. Two-die block just outside the right. Wide zone, the biggest ragu. Then he knocked to the ground, no armor break. Two-die block against Queso Bill. Push back. Why doesn't Queso Bill? Can't he make something delicious that will steal rerolls from another team? I'm sure Queso Bill has some recipes that would steal rerolls from an opposing team as an inducement. Double push here against Merrick. Two flesh columns over on the right side of the offensive formation, just bullying dwarves, just pushing them back, trying to keep them out of the drive. Think about it with a dwarf. You push a dwarf one space away from the ball, that's 25% of their movement they have to spend to get back toward the ball. They are very, very slow. Blitz still on the table, back on the bonus clock. Blitz is going to be against Urken, the journeyman lineman. Gets a knockdown out of this. 8+ breaks armor, but doesn't get it. Rolls a 3. Wolf is going to go right back into position, marking the ball. And now the Wraith are going to come on the left side of the ball. 4 marks for the offense, 3 for the defense in this scrum. Turn 6 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. 2-die block against nice biscuits. No armor break though. Here's the assist coming up for the 2-die against the number 5. Wraith gets the knockdown here. 9+ breaks armor. Wraith is going to sidestep onto the ball here. Where's the ball going to bounce? Wow! Old gamer Mike putting faith in Nuffle. Moves the Wraith up to be blocked down. Has sidesteps, so old gamer Mike gets to decide where that Wraith goes. Sidesteps on the ball, and the ball pops out of this scrum. "30 seconds to go in turn number 6. The Darlings have players to move. I imagine we'll see 2, maybe 3 dwarves start to circle around this ball. Blitz still on the table. Would he go for a ball pickup blitz? Nope. He's going to go around. Rolls, gets the knockdown here, gets Pug Johnson. Hunting that ghoul. Ghoul with an AV of 8 rather than an AV of 9. And now it's taking a mark on the werewolf. 2 marks on the werewolf once more. A POW against number 3, the Flesh Golem. Turn 7 now for the Goodest boys. Stike back. Two-die block against number 4. This is the Dwarf Journeyman back at mid-pitch. He's going to get a knockdown here. Richard Mastiff on the block. I think old gamer Mike did a really good job here with this offense. Spreading it out, did exactly what he needed to do. Just got a little too far down pitch with the ball carrier. And Doug Ventura was able to get the block on the ghoul, which forced this scrum that has been very difficult to get the ball out of. Pug Johnson stands up for the assist. Two-die block on Gravy. Crockett with the werewolf has to follow up. That's the turn. Turn 7 now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. There'll be 1 turn left for this Necro team to try to get on the board. The Darlings, they're just going to put a lot of tackle zones between the offense and the defense. They'll also take as many blocks as they've been given. Number 5, Wraith, is going to get pushed. Gets knocked back a space. But he wouldn't. I was going to say. He would. All right, he's going to blitz Pug Johnson. Gets a foul here. Looking for the 8+. He's got the 8+. Only gets a stun out of it. Doug the Minotaur going after that ghoul, going after that werewolf, going after the ghoul where at all possible because of the low AV. These are the only 2 effective ball carriers for the Stepper team. .45 seconds left in turn number 7. The Darlings with 1 reroll left for the half. One die block on the werewolf, got a POW out of here. This is absolutely worth it. Oh, got an armor break too. What a big stun. Wow. Big stun for the Dinnerbell Darlings. They took out the ghoul, got a stun, took out the werewolf, and that effectively, I think that actually means that this Necro team's no longer going to be able to score. Great stun by the Darlings. And the hot dog joint I went to, like, they share my hot dog philosophy. Like, when you get everything on a hot dog, you can get other stuff, but everything on a hot dog, and this is the way it should be: mustard, onions, chili. Perfect. Perfect. Turn 8 for the Goodest boys strike back, looking to take some blocks and maybe, I don't know how they're going to keep these players safe. I don't know if Doug McIntyre would risk a foul on them, though, but we'll see. Goodest boys fought very hard to try to score. Just one tiny space of movement forward is what ended up costing the touchdown here. Doug McIntyre, very, very good coach, was able to capitalize on that mistake and then knows exactly the order to take these blocks, where to find the holes and the gaps. Took the blocks on the two ball carriers, got stuns on both. And they're going to be able to hold this offense from scoring. Big armor break, only got a stun out of it. Wow. Electric Smith says this isn't about peanut butter hot dogs, is it? It is not. Welcome to the stream. One die against Gravy. Crockett gets a push here. Cleffy says that's a lot of dwarf armor breaks. I'm sad. No removals yet. Yeah, even when you break armor, it can be tough because they have to fix skulls. Uphill. Uphill block on General So here gets a push out of it. Why not, right? Why not? Definitely follows up. It's one less mark on the Wraith. Doesn't mean the Wraith's out of the woods yet. That Wraith is a level 2. Wraith has the Mighty Blow skill. Gives you +1 to your armor or your injury roll, whichever roll you'll need it for. Final third of the first quarter now. Dinnerbell Darling successfully stopping the offense from scoring. And now they're going to take some blocks and try to gain some SPP, perhaps even increase player advantage for the second half of the game. We'll see if they get any player advantage at all. There is a KO roll that Old Gamer Mike will roll here at the beginning of the second half. Did I block at center pitch against Tosis? Tosis Smith gets a knockdown. Second game of this evening's doubleheader. Oh, it's not a doubleheader. I thought it was, I mean, we'll have another game. It's at 10:30. I thought it was going to be right after this game. The second game of this evening will be at 10:30 EST. That's UTC -5. It's going to be the Discomancers versus the Wooden Men and Iron Trees. Ian versus S. Beaver. That'll be Necro versus Wood Elves. That's the end of the half. 0-0 the score. The Dinnerbell Darlings will be on offense to start the second half here. The Wraith not coming back onto the pitch for the Goodest boys. So they'll be down a player. Oh, they're not down a player. They had 12. Look at that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it'll be 11v11 on the pitch. Ghoul and the Werewolf will definitely be in the secondary. Probably positions them as safeties. 3 on the line here for the Goodest boys. They're going to spread them wide. 3 Zombos on the line. They're there to take hits. That's why they're employed. Just take punches. Ooh. All right, so what do we call this? Like a smushed anchor, maybe? So the werewolf and the ghoul behind the linebackers here, as they should be. 5 going on the line for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Doesn't have any guard. Might put a 6th on the line, or he might shift one of the linemen off to the corner. Seven on the line now, 2 wideouts. Norton, the journeyman, on the left. Merrick, the journeyman, on the right. Pulling in the 2 blitzers just behind those 2 wide players. Gravy Crockett, the halfback, and of course Kevin Bacon himself back to receive this ball. Here's the kick. Shallow kick. Shallow kick. 5 players get to reposition here on the quick snap. 1 space is what they get to move. We'll see if this ball stays on the pitch. Very shallow kick for the Goodest boys. Would have been a great kick for a blitz. Does the ball stay on the pitch? It does not. It will be a touchback. Almost certainly going in the hands of Kevin Bacon. And turn 9 will get underway here for the Dinnerbell Darlings. They have 3 rerolls for the game. Indeed, on the touchback, Kevin Bacon will take the ball. Turn 9 now for the Darlings. 3 blocks on the line to take the first one against the left defensive end. Pleather gets a push out of this. We get a second block here on Pleather, but first we're on the right side, the right defensive end, another push. Pushes to the outside. Won't take that block just yet. That's a journeyman. Another push, this time against the nose tackle. All 3 of the zombies laughing in the face of these dwarves. And now the Gravy Crockett blitz against Femur gets the knockdown, has to follow up to the frenzy. No more movement left unless there's a rush. And he rushes successfully across the line of scrimmage. Minotaur with this mighty dwarven line here. Look at this guy showing off. Look at him. Stop making muscles. Kevin Bacon advances the ball to the 4. Behind that hefty dwarven line. Has some protection on the right. We'll have some protection on the left here. Gets a foul against Pleather this time. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. There's that protection on the left side. 1 more player left to activate. Well, 2 more players, but obviously I think doesn't want to activate the number 4 lineman on the right side. Turn 9 now for the Goodest boys. Like a little broken heart. Can't fill in the gaps. Oh. Is that a broken heart, or is that like a heart with like a stock price going up and up? These boys taking some marks against these dwarves. 1 on the right side, 1 on the left of the line. Two-Eye Wolf blitz against Merrick, the journeyman. Got a pow out of this. Remember, 8+ breaks armor thanks to Claw. No armor break again. You still call it claw/claws? Just claws. Seconds left on turn 9 here. So this defense going toe-to-toe with the Dwarves, trying to lock them down here, and now applying some pressure on the right side with Pug Johnson. Pug Johnson scooting around the right side of the defensive line, the offensive line, excuse me, turn 10 for the Darlings now. General So around the left side. Taking a mark on Nice Biscuits for the 2-die block. Gets a push here. Two-die block on Tibby on the left side of the line. Going to try to block down this line. Breaks armor. Gets a stun out of this. Dauntless player out of position here. This is Gravy Crockett, the Troll Slayer. Maybe you see a dwarf dodge at some point here. Blitz on the left side, gets a 2-die blitz into double skulls against Nice Biscuits. Gets the POW here. Kevin Bacon on the blitz. So this defense trying to tie up all these Dwarves, saying you're not going to go anywhere. Good armor break. Very good armor break by Kevin Bacon. Got the removal as well. Well done by Kevin Bacon. General Custer will come in to close off the cage. Two-die block on the line, gets a POW against the Wraith on the left side of the line here. Gets another stun. Great stun against this Wraith. Now the blocks down the line coming. Another armor break. Wow, removed the Flesh Golem. Big removal. That's a strength 4 Sand Firm player, Tosa Smith, removed from the pitch. One die block against Sam Corkington. This will be a both standing result. I was going to say, might take a block here, but decides not to. That'll be it. Turn 10 for the Goodest boys. Great series of blocks there that turn by Doug the Minotaur. Shifts the ball to the left. Finally, an armor break here from this Wolf. Gets stunned against Merrick, the journeyman, over in the right wide zone. Rules in all notes. So Mark Gravy Crockett also defends the Werewolf. 2-die block against Gravy Crockett. Now it's going to be a knockdown. Two-die block against Erkin is a skull. Uses a reroll. Gets a push out of this. Goodest boys down to 1 reroll for the game. Okay, so Bill's going to be knocked down by Richard Mastiff, the 1 remaining Flesh Golem on the pitch. Turn 11 now for the Darlings. Very calculated turns here by both these coaches. Again, you can see the Necro team trying to play into the disadvantages of the Dwarven team. Went in and tried to take all the marks, tried to tie down the Dwarves so they could go nowhere, but that left the Darlings with the opportunity to block that line down. Block down 3 players. Got 3 great results out of that. Got, I think, a KO and 2 stuns. And were able to reposition the ball to the left side of the pitch here. And now with the two speedy players over on the right side of the pitch, Dinnerbell Darlings are going to try to gain some ground here. They'll knock down Pleather. I'll give him back one spiking dice. Yeah, and there he goes. Kevin Bacon himself scurries on down to the opposing 10-yard line just off the left sideline. And a very solid contingent of Dwarves around the ball carrier. Now the Necro team has some very important decisions to make on the upcoming turn. Because as it stands, this Dwarf team's winning this game, right? So you have to decide, do I lean into my speed advantage? Do I get back as fast as I can? Is there anything I can do to try to force the score and get on the board? If not, can I stop the score? Unfortunately, these are the 2 pieces to watch out for this. And they're well out of position over on the right side. Stand up 5 plus dodge. Gravy Crockett. You're a dwarf. Gravy Crockett. Come on, man. Come on, man. You don't dodge. Dodge into the tackle zone of Puck Johnson. Turn 11 now for the Goodest boys. I think the only way the Goodest boys get out of this is if they just mark a bunch of Dwarves, pray to Nuffle, and then that gives them an opportunity to get a ghoul and a werewolf somewhere into position to threaten on turn 13. Okay, so Bill is pushed aside. Blitz still on the table. I don't know who could possibly be blitzed, though. Unless it's going to be General Custer. Yeah, there goes Pug Johnson trying to get in on this ball. 1 die blitz on the big Ragu. It's going to be a push into a 1 die follow-up. Got the pow. Well done. Oh, an armor break will be huge here for the Goodest boys. Can he get it? He got the armor break. Very well done. Got a stun out of it. That's a big, big stun. Again, the werewolf with claw treats the AV of this Dwarven team as if it's an 8+. Turn 12 now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. So there are a number of unmarked Dwarves currently. General So and Butch Casserole as well. Of course, that's Kevin Bacon, who's currently in scoring position. If the Darlings win this game with the score as it stands, in other words, if they win 1-0, they will advance well, they're not going to advance in anything. They're going to remain in second place. But they'll have sole second place. The only way they can get into first place is if they win this game 3-0. And I don't think you're doing that. Not in this game, not as a Dwarf team. 2-9 blitz into double skulls against the werewolf. Spends the reroll into a push. The werewolf's going to remain standing. Big boon here for the Goodest boys to keep that werewolf on its feet. "12 seconds left on the clock for the Darlings." I've got a real difficult decision to make here. We'll see what happens with Kevin Bacon. Moves towards the end zone. Is he going to rush? No. Kevin Bacon's going to hold out on the 22-yard line. Big pow here. Got a KO. Good removal. Each one of these removals absolutely matters because that means that's now another Gore free that can try to protect the ball carrier and stall this game out for longer. Darlings on the bonus clock. 4 minutes, 47 seconds remaining. Each team with one reroll left for this game. Tie ball game currently 0-0. Both coaches playing very well. Flanders gonna get knocked down here. Armor broken again. Flanders, my man. Turn 12 now for the Goodest boys. It's the final turn of the third quarter. General Custer's going to be pushed aside here on the first block of the turn for the Goodest boys. I imagine we're going to have to see a dodge with the werewolf. The ghoul can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can certainly mark. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could try to knock down Kevin Bacon. It's some rushes. Some rushes to do so. Taking marks. Good action over here by Old Gamer Mike to take some marks first. They are free, so to speak, meaning there's no die rolls associated. So there's no risk of a turnover. Under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Okay, so Bill, way back in no man's land, is going to be knocked down here by Richard Master. Oh, failed the rush by the ghoul. Oh, if he's going to blitz, he's got to spend it. He spent it. No more rerolls left for the Goodest boys. There's the mark. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. Got the knockdown on Kevin Bacon. 8 plus, excuse me, breaks armor. He got the armor break. Huge armor break. Ball stays on the pitch. Wow. Big armor break here. Kevin Bacon stunned on the pitch. Very well done by Old Gamer Mike. Oh, come on. That's not the replay. Come on. Come on, computer. Oh, that's my fault. That's my fault. I didn't give it enough time to render out the replay. Ball on the 20, on the Dinnerbell Darlings own 20-yard line, just off the left sideline. Good blitz by the werewolf. Stunned Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon out for a turn, but unfortunately, I think a scrum's going to start to form around this ball once more. But now the favor. Well, I would say the favor's for the Necro team, but I don't know. It's very close to the end zone. 2-die blitz. Gets a pal on Pug Johnson. Butch Casserole on the block. No armor break. It's able to remove that ghoul runner from the scrum. Electrics Man says wolves love bacon. Who doesn't, really? Who doesn't? 39 seconds to go. have sworn there was a pitch. Maybe it was like a Dark Elf pitch when this game first came out that would like flood and teeter. But maybe I'm just making that up. Goodest boys on turn 13. Two-die block against Queso Bill. Goodest boys have no rerolls left. Taking some blocks. Stand up blitz by the ghoul. One die blitz into a skull. That's going to be a turnover. And stunned as well. Tried to take the one die with the ghoul. That would free up the werewolf to try to score. Well, not score, but pick up the ball and then move towards scoring. Two-die block against the werewolf. This is a both standing result. Is the reroll going to be spent? The final reroll is spent. Got the POW out of this. No more rerolls left for the game by either team. Gonna try to surf the werewolf now. Here's the surf attempt. Just needs a push out of this. Got it. Well done by Doug the Minotaur. That cheerleader she's just like, yeah, it's cool. You guys do it just whatever you're doing. It's cool. Good surf here by the Darlings. All people in the crowd are just beating up on him. That's fine. That's cool. Tessam's going to be knocked out. Now the Darlings starting to get some control on this ball. Werewolf's been removed. The ghoul is stunned. 3+ pickup by General So works out. General So now the ball carrier. The number 5 blitzer, second fastest player on the team, turn 14 for the Goodest boys. And I think the Darlings are going to get yet another turn of stalling out of this. That's all they need. One more turn, they can score on turn 16. Two-die block against the number 7 Journeyman. Gets a knockdown here. Oh! Oh! Ho ho ho! Ho 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 ho! See you later, buddy. See you later. That's a dead dwarf. Who wanted a dead dwarf? You got a dead dwarf tonight. Up against this Necro team. That means Merrick now plays for the Goodest boys. Congratulations on your new team, Merrick. Another armor break. Wow. Doesn't get anything out of it. Got a stun. Right, so that's something about these Necro teams. Again, like we talked about it briefly, but like just think about that. That's 40K for free that you pick up, which is wonderful. So if it bloats your TV, you just fire them. If you needed a lineman, you've now got one. And it's just funny to have other coaches' players on your roster. Turn 15 for the Darlings. Little stall here. I might even have a foul on the ghoul. Kevin Bacon to move to center pitch. Okay, my mic says that I keep my 1 kill per game. It's a good ratio. It's a good ratio. Cage set up around the ball carrier as the Darlings stall this out for one more turn. Looks like they're going to come out of this game the victor 1-0, but of course it's going to depend on what the Goodest boys decide to do here. No rerolls left for any team. A gauntlet for the Ghoul to get through. If the Ghoul's going to be risked to go after this ball carrier, I doubt the Ghoul will be risked at all, but we'll see what happens here in turn 16. Turn 15 for the Goodest boys. This is their last opportunity to stop this score, but it's also an opportunity to pick up some SPP. Not a whole lot the Goodest boys can really do here to effectuate anything. Gonna rush in position for, looks like a 2-die blitz on Norin. Here it is. 2-die blitz by the Ghoul. Looking for some SPP. Got the knockdown, 10 plus. Be an armor break. No armor break. I think that'll be the turn. We'll see. Levy says, is there any way to get the ball? There was with the Ghoul, but it's super duper risky and totally not worth it. But now, no. No, there's not. Turn 16 for the Darlings with no rerolls left. I imagine they're going to walk this ball in and take the lead 1-0. There it is. Well done. Well done. Darlings take the lead here. Yeah, hold that cup high. Okay, let's come back to the Goodest boys. That might play a factor. There might be a timeout here. If so, they can absolutely get on the board. The touchdown celebration that very likely to win the game here. Well done. All of the Dwarves, save for 3 linemen, are going to try to screen out the end zone. With 1 turn left in this game, if there's a timeout, there'll be 2 turns left. Clevy says, who did the Darlings lose? It was a journeyman, Merrick. There he is. So 1-man player advantage for the Goodest boys. They're hoping for a timeout. If so, they can try to draw this game. All 10 on the line. Otherwise, here's the kick. Werewolf's got to be on the line. Ooh, deep kick. It's an officious ref. Not going to matter. The ref says, sit out the big Ragu. 3 blocks on the line. Perhaps a long pass as well. This game's going to end 1-0 in favor of the Darlings. Their record is going to increase to 3-0-0 here in week 3. Well done. Well played by both coaches. That was a very good, very well played game, I thought. That was a lot of fun to watch. So with that win, the Dinnerbell Darlings will remain in second place, but their record increases to 3-0-0. They gain 9 points. They are tied in terms of points with the first place team. They are behind by 2 touchdowns. Well done by the Darlings. Well done by both coaches, I think. That was, I mean, man, I'll tell you right now, I could not have played that well with that Necro team. I just could not. That was very well done by both coaches, I think. We have one more game tonight that's going to be a little bit later. Let's look at the schedule before we leave. Coming up tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's UTC -5. That's about 2 hours, 20 minutes from now. That will be the Discomancers versus the Wooden Men and Iron Trees. Ian versus S. Beaver. That'll be another Necro team versus Wood Elves. That'll be a fun one to watch. We saw Necro versus Bash. Now we'll see Necro versus Adge. That'll close out week 3. After that, coaches will begin to schedule their week 4 matches, and when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game's so much great. You could punch Kevin Bacon in the face. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, Xbox, and a tabletop forum at your friendly local game store. Until tonight, about 2 hours, 20 minutes from now at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy your next few hours.